Hi everyone, welcome to the presentation for our final project for Emerging Technologies. The main goal of my project was to create a PD that introduced teachers to how to use augmented and virtual reality within their classroom. I find that many professional development sessions are quite cumbersome and, to be honest, a bit boring. I wanted to introduce this technology in a way that makes the teacher feel excited to use it. Also, I know this technology can be a little difficult and intimidating, so making an interactive professional development session to address those issues was a top priority of mine. I also wanted to address this in a way that felt open for the teachers, so it didn't feel like something that was being forced upon them and something that they could really be excited to use. The reason I wanted to focus on AR and VR was because COVID-19 has critically impacted the way in which we communicate information to students. This technology could be very important for ways in which students immerse themselves within the content when learning remotely. So I wanted to go over my presentation as well as the components of it, and then I'll give you my question at the end that I would like everyone to answer. So I'm not going to read through each slide completely. I'm just going to explain what each slide's purpose is and the different links that there are. So the first page says, what comes to mind when you hear augmented and virtual reality? This prompts the user to go to a poll website that they can answer the question for me. I have it pulled up. So you'll see this creates a word cloud. So every time someone answers with the same answer, the word will get bigger. This is just a fun way to get people talking about the subject that we're looking over. It's also completely anonymous. So if someone does have a fear, they can address it here in a very low stakes way. Moving to the next slide. Well, I'll just click on it because it was going a little slow. So for the next slide, it goes over definitions of augmented reality. So a lot of people aren't really sure of the different uses of augmented and virtual reality. Just basically explaining that augmented reality uses the real world and enhances it, whereas virtual reality creates um, a user face that's completely generated for the user. I also wanted to go over the history. So it goes over the early history of AR and VR, as well as the later history and how we've kind of come to the status of this technology where we are today. The next slide highlights the pros and cons of this technology. So, what are the pros? What are the cons? Just so the teachers can get a full view of what we're getting into as a district. The next slide is a QR code that links to Padlet. So once the user scans this, or I could provide them with the link, they are prompted with the question, how would you use AR/VR reality in your classroom? These are some responses that I put. So I would like to use it to review for tests. I would like to find out ways we can study anatomy. So it depends on your subject you're in. You can also like comments that are similar to views that you already have. The next video is just a video that shows different ways for you to use it inside your classroom. So actually different applications that teachers can use this technology for. I wanted to focus on the Oculus Quest 2 headset just because I have one already and I've used a lot of these apps before. So this is the preferred technology I would like to see in our district, just because it's easy. A lot of students already have these at home, so they're familiar with it. I wanted a page that highlighted the ease of using it as well as the cost, because the cost is a definite factor when deciding on it. This next section, which is what I'm really excited about, would be a way for teachers to get into groups and actually test out the different apps. So this is a way for them to get excited about the technology as well as a hands-on approach. So they're not just learning about it, they're actually using it. So they would form groups of 2 or 3, make sure they're from different subjects, just so they're getting a well-rounded experience. And then they could pick from these different subjects down here, these different apps that might fit into their subject matter a little bit easier. The last slide is just a choice board. So we've used this a lot in PD, and I actually really like these. It links to a board that gives the user the options for how they want to go over their PD. So they must select, out of the 9 boxes, they must select 4 plus the yellow middle box. So they can watch a video, so it links them out. So they can watch a YouTube video about this. They could also complete a survey. Now, this survey is the only required item. And then it's just a way, then they'll fill in the color as they go through it. So just a way for them to get more hands-on and have choice over their learning. So my question I wanted to post for everyone would be, what way do you think you'll use this technology in your classroom? For example, would you use it for tests, main lessons, formative assessments? Also, what limitations do you see? If you aren't a teacher, how would you use it in your line of work? Thank you for watching, guys.